Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a beautiful child. When you was only starting to go to kindergarten, you must have drove the little ones wild. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, it's been a long week. I wanted to address this earlier this week, and actually I did a video about this earlier this week, but for some reason it would not upload. YouTube just wouldn't take it. I was rejected. I was like, I can't handle rejection. I threw a bottle at the computer screen. Fuck you, bitch. But anyway, no, that's not my style. So anyway, like I was saying, I wanted to do it. I did do it. I'm going to take another stab at it. And I want to talk about my feelings on this travesty, this kerfuffle, this Cuties thing on Netflix. It's Netflix and chill. I don't know. It's Netflix and ill at this point. You know what I mean? But guys, I don't know about you, but listen. When I think of Cuties, I think of puppies. A new litter of puppies. Or maybe some kittens, you know what I mean? Little cute little paws, that's Cuties to me, Or, back in the day when I used to drop my son off at daycare and he would like crawl around with his little rugrat friends, I would say, oh, look at the little cuties, you know what I mean? But one thing I didn't think about at all when I think about Cuties, I don't think about booties. When I think about Cuties, I don't think about booties. I don't think about Cuties with booties. I don't think about Cuties shaking their booties. I don't think about that. I don't think about young girls twerking. No, that's not what well-adjusted, fine, upstanding citizens think about. But here we have this movie that's going to be on Netflix, where they're going to be focusing on, I guess, an 11-year-old girl, I believe, if I, read the summary correctly. And she falls in, she comes from a traditional family. I believe she's Muslim. There they go fucking around with Islam again. You see, and then they wonder why they end up getting some type of a death notice or something put on their head. You know what I mean? Stop fucking with Islam. When are people gonna learn this? Leave it alone. That's one of those faiths they don't play, man. They don't play that shit. You're gonna fuck around one of those executives from Netflix. You're gonna catch a bad one. I'm telling you. It's not something I hope for. I'm just saying it could happen. All right. So anyway, there it is. All right. And people are rightfully upset about this. This whole thing about, girls, being sexualized and everything. And something, honestly, guys, I don't see this as being something new. Hollywood in general has always been kind of sick and twisted. Actually, not kind of. Very sick and twisted. You guys know what I'm talking about. Throughout the years, people have always wondered, what's up with these child actors? How come these child actors always end up being fucked up? It's like they're always on drugs, they're on alcohol, they're committing crimes. They were the cutest little things when they were kids. You see pictures of them now and it's just like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to you? You know what I mean? But I do believe that a lot of it has to do with the sick underculture, that open secret that's in Hollywood. Pedophilia, I believe, is running rampant, and I don't think it's anything new. I think this has been going on since the days of like Shirley Temple, on the good ship, lollipop. All right, now listen, I don't like thinking about these things. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that, it makes me feel dirty. When I look at the promo, for Cuties and everything, and you see what you see the promotional poster and everything, and it's just like, what are they going for here, I don't like how that feels. But see, I had a very unique experience years ago, with a family friend. And the family friend got in trouble for abusing a girl, and he was a family friend, and he actually had a good reputation. A lot of these predators, they tend to be that way. They're very charming, and everything. And yeah, so that's the way it was. Everybody trusted him. He had a good sense of humor. Hold on a second. Let me just press this. Hold on, because I think I gotta. Okay, all right. I gotta go pick up my son as usual. So anyway, where was I? My family friend. All right, so it turned out that he had abused a girl, at least one that we knew of, And due to the fact that I had already, I had like a pretty decent relationship with this guy. I knew him for years and stuff. He seemed like a a good guy, you know. And although nothing much really surprises me anymore, I was very disappointed, you know. And on the strength of our past friendship and relationship, I went to go speak to him, you know. And I just wanted to know, like, what is this? Like, why? You know, what's going on with you, man? It's like, you know, you've always been cool with me and everything. And if there's something going on and you have to pay the price for it, you got to go to jail, then you got to go, bro. But if not, I told him I would go with him, you know, as a support to get some help. You know, go talk to a therapist, whatever the case may be. And to my surprise, he actually talked to me. You know, he actually told me and tried to explain to me what it's like to be a person who struggles with that kind of thing. It was very disturbing and it was very enlightening at the same time, you know, and I'll never look at things the same way. Like, for example, one of the things to be pointed out was how it's a struggle for him, or he's ultra aware, you know, when he goes into like a department store, say he goes into Target, and he pointed out, he was like, you know, when you go into Target, he's like, you know, you see pictures of young girls, you know, in swimwear, you know, models, you know, pictures of young girls, maybe they're in, you know, clothes or something, or, you know, even worse, maybe underwear, panties or something. And he's saying that disturbs him, and it's something that he struggles with. And I'll never forget that, because it made me realize that there are things out there right under our noses, you know, things that we see every day, that because we don't have, thank God, that illness, because a lot of people say, oh, that's just fucking sick. And you know something, it is, you know, it is sick. But you got to understand the illness, you know, not to have sympathy for these people. But I'm saying we have to be honest about this if we're going to somehow, I don't know, get an understanding of it. So because I learned how to see things that way, you know, I realized that this thing goes deeper than the movie, you know, because I really do believe that the people who are behind this, you know, that culture in Hollywood, like I said, that is sick, that preys upon children, which is why I really don't like children in show business. It's a very, very tricky thing. It's like if they don't have the right representation and people looking out for their interests, so many horrible things can happen there. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are not going to like this, all right? But that's also one reason why I'm also very critical of the Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter. You know, because I feel like celebrities, Hollywood, they latch on to these things. Like, you can watch an award show, everybody's grandstanding about, you know, Me Too and Black Lives Matter. But the one thing they don't talk about, they never talk about, is the victimization of children in Hollywood that's been going on forever. You know what I mean? You would think that somebody besides Corey Feldman and Todd Bridges and a few others would have picked that up. You know, but no, it's like I said before, it is an open secret, and they allow these people to hide behind Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement. Not that these things don't have merit. It's just that the people in Hollywood, I am convinced that they latch on to this to hide behind. You know what I mean? Because Hollywood is full of predators. That's what it is. And we have to come to grips with that if we're going to stop things like this. So I realize that it's not about whether or not this show comes on Netflix or not. It's not about that at all. What it's about is that promo, because these people, they speak in signals and they speak in signs. And it only takes a 30-second, a minute promo to signal somebody who's got that illness, to trigger them. You know, and I think that's what it's about, because you can't deny it. I watched the promo. I saw little girls bending over. I saw legs spread. I hate thinking that way. I know there's going to be some people in the comment section talking about maybe there's something wrong with you. Man, fuck you. I know what I know. You know what I mean? And you got to be honest about this if we're going to make some type of a change. You know, this isn't a matter of, oh, you uptight Americans, you filthy Americans, you're always so prudish. You know, you're so uptight about sex. We're talking about children. All right? And I would worry about little girls who were put in roles like this to be objectified. I don't care. I don't give a shit what kind of story you're telling. There's acting and then there's exploitation. And what I see with children is mainly exploitation, because a lot of them are not of age to consent to the type of images that they're feeding into and that their parents are selling them into. You know, so that's how I feel about that. It's not a matter of being uptight. What goes on between consenting adults it's fair game. I don't care what you like. If you're a consenting adult, you go on and do that. But what we're talking about with children is something different. And what they're signaling to all those people out there who have this illness, it's devilish. You know, it's irresponsible at best. It's devilish at worst. You know, so I would implore people like my old family friend out there, you know, who are out there and they might be struggling with something, they know they're fucked up, whatever. I would encourage you to either start or reach out to a support group. You know, if you know that this is what you're struggling with, because there are people out there who want to see the world as twisted as possible. And everything that we've been talking about in the Fandom Minutes, all of this is in that same sick basket. Because there's one thing I noticed that this director, she's a woman from Senegal, you know, a black woman. And one thing I noticed about each of her films, I think she's only got like a few, but I was reading about them. And all of them seem to have the father figure being absent. You know, and of course he would have to be absent because there's no good, responsible, decent father who wants to see his daughter twerking. You know, I don't care how this show turns out. I already saw an article talking about, well, you guys need to watch it before you criticize it because it's actually a good coming of age movie about not judging a girl who's trying to find her femininity. All right. Let's say that is what the movie is about. That's what it turns out to be about. Oh, it's not so bad. But it doesn't stop the fact that the promo is what it is. And the poster was what it was. And it already signaled those people who have that particular illness. So it's already too late. The damage has been done. That's the way these things work. All right, so I figured I would go on and talk about that because I don't think anybody came at it from that particular point of view. I don't give a shit what this show turns out to be. It could be the most wholesome thing in the world, ultimately. You know, because there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to watch it and be like, oh, it wasn't so bad. But because I know what I know that there's a lot of people out there who struggle with this. All right, and I talked about this before with the whole James Gunn thing. Pedophilia, exploitation of children is nothing to fucking joke about. It's not entertainment. It's none of that stuff. You have to be very, very careful with how you present these types of themes. I'm not saying that you can't present them. I'm saying that you have to be very, very careful. And if you're a parent who's got your kid going into showbiz, you need to be more aware. Unless you just don't care. You know, if that's the case, then fine. When I talked about the James Gunn thing, I had a whole bunch of people come into the comment section and criticize me about it. You know what I mean? Oh, just lighten up. Oh, you just obviously don't understand dark humor. Okay, whatever you say there, buddy. You know, but at the same time, I do know what I know. All right, and I expect the same thing in the comment section this time. Obviously, people are going to have differences of opinion. That's fine. I encourage it. That's a discussion, and that's more of what we need. But what we don't need is exploitation. What we don't need is abuse, and what we don't need is to fuel this subculture, this sick, exploitative subculture that we have in this country. All right, we need strong families. We need responsible adults who are looking out for children, who are going to be our next generation. You know what I mean? So that's what it all comes down to for me. You guys can get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this. Like I said, both sides are welcome. Just be respectful. And of course, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter. The link for that will be in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.